Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerd for No Reason podcast. I am one of your fantastic hosts. My name is Mark.
Hi, I'm also one of your hosts, and I'm Raven. How's it
You
going
know,
today?
when
Oh,
I do that intro, whenever it's my turn to do the intro, I like legit get all into it. Like, even though I'm in the room all by myself as I record this, like, I got my hands up and I like arms out like I am addressing a nation. Just like, people, Romans, countrymen, listen to me. Like, I got to play the part. I feel like if I just sat there with my arms by my side, I would give me the same kind of thing.
that's
So,
fair. That's very valid, and I can honestly see you do that. Your dog, I can imagine Sasha just sitting in your room, just being like, I don't know what he's doing, but he's being a little crazy right now.
oh my God, I forgot. Man, you know what? I'm going to risk it and tell you this story on air.
Ooh,
Um, so, Jesus, I don't even know how I can delicately tell this story with my
oh
dumb
Lord.
dog. Okay, so I told you last week that I had to take Sasha into the emergency vet and get x rays, and we couldn't find anything wrong,
For her little
right?
hurt back.
So, uh, Tuesday morning, she's pretty much acting normal at this point. And Tuesday morning, we wake up. I let her outside. She goes outside. About 15 minutes later, I go to let her back in, and she darts in, and I look, and over the course of like the next 2 seconds, a ton of things are like processing through my brain. So this is very much slowed down,
Oh,
but this is 2 seconds worth of stuff. I noticed that she's hunched over again and crawling real low.
mm-hmm.
And um and I'm like, "Oh no." And then I look, and there is a 2 foot piece of rope hanging out of her butt.
Oh.
And when I say 2 feet, I mean legitimate 48 inches.
Mm,
And I'm
oof.
like, and it is 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, "Oh, damn, this is a hell of a way to start today." So I
Yeah.
get her back outside. I go in the garage to get some gloves. I'm like, man, because the last time I had to assist with a sock extraction, she didn't like that. They had to sedate her to like take her temperature at the vet because she was just like, don't nobody mess around back there, period. So
Can't blame
here
her.
so here comes dad with the gloves now. I go get the gloves on. I walk outside. As soon as I walk outside, she's like, "Oh, what's up? There ain't nothing in my butt no more. Let's play." And boom, like she has more energy than she's had the past 5 days. Like she is literally spinning circles on the back porch.
Oh.
Just the best. I'm like, "Oh, thank God." Okay. So now I got to go in the yard and find this rope so this dumbass don't eat it again. Um, so I eventually find it, and yeah, it's a rope. I believe it to be the rope of one of her chew toys that she had done torn apart. Uh, yeah, that's the best I can figure because I don't know
Mm.
what the hell
Mm-mm.
else it could be. But I learned a bunch of new things that day, and that is socks don't show up on X-rays, and it takes almost 7 days for socks to pass through my bulldog's system or rope.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah. Mudslide has also been on like a little kick phase of trying to eat our socks for some reason. So every now and then when we're walking outside, I have to help assist him in kind of getting that out of there. It's not fun, so I understand your fear in that.
So yeah, now I'm like super nervous just because, you know, I really don't want to go through that again. And again, like I'm still just kind of upset that I had to spend all that money and just for something that didn't need to be done just so she could poop it out a couple days later. It's a whole dang old thing, man.
Yeah. Too bad they didn't give you a little puppy laxative to help shoot things out of there.
Well, if I would have known that's what it was,
Yeah.
like we got some like probiotic stuff for the other dog that we could have given her and stuff and things. And, you know, we could have expedited this process, I'm sure. But I don't know. We got it. It's all good.
That's dog life.
Yep.
You love them. They do the crazy things, and you just accept it.
Yep. So, how's your week been? That's pretty much the only excitement that's happened in my week so far.
It's been very hectic, and I have slept a lot this week. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When you texted me, I had just woke up from like a 3 or 4 hour nap after I napped a lot this morning. How about you? How's your week been going?
Busy as well. Been doing a lot of stuff at work. Like work is really just pumping on all cylinders right now. Like I guess we are in the point where they're just trying to push out a bunch of work, and I'm doing a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to get ready for a TDY and a trip to Vegas. Um, that's coming up in a couple weeks because some friends are getting married. It's a lot. I'm kind of waiting to get on the other side of this Vegas trip because it's for sure just, even though it's not really affecting anybody but me, I just feel it in kind of my bones that I need to get this trip out of the way. So,
Nice.
yeah. But
Will be a good time though.
yeah, it will be. I don't plan on doing much because I'm only gonna.
Officiate and party.
You know what? I don't even really plan on partying that much.
Oh
For
my
one,
goodness. In
for one,
Vegas?
yeah, I know. Like I'll do a little bit, but I'm not. For one, I can't afford to go out and bend it like Beckham anymore. Um, and if I did that, like I get in on a Friday. If I did it on a Saturday, I'd be a wreck for the wedding on Sunday, and I have to be on all cylinders because
Yeah.
I'm going to be on stage. So, yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
So, oh, but but
But
I really want to talk about this movie because I have a lot of strong words and feelings and opinions about this movie.
all
Um,
right.
so if it's
Let's
okay with you, let's go ahead and get into this dang old thing.
let's dive in.
Okay, this week's movie, ladies and gentlemen, is a movie that I stumbled across someone talking about on TikTok. It's 2017's Dave Made a Maze. And this is, I think, both of our first time watching it.
Oh,
Is that
definitely.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Raven, please tell me, what did you think of this movie?
For this to be one of those just, you know, little movies that someone made and was just like, hey, let's get a bunch of my friends together, put some stuff together, make some scenes, do it all. This was a pretty, like, good movie. It was very much engaging, and there were a lot of twists and turns. Haha, because it's a maze. Um, I really dug it. What'd you think about it? Did
I
you
dug
also
it as
like it?
well. I
Sweet.
I did. The only problem, like, I agree with everything you said about this movie. This very much feels like a movie where a bunch of people got together and said, "Yo, you know what would be really cool? This." And they went and did it. And the only problem is that I feel it's both a plus and a negative of this movie is that it feels too much like an independent movie.
Is it
Like,
not?
well, no, it was, but
Okay,
it
just making sure.
has that feel of an independent movie. You know what I'm saying? Like an overabundance of friends that we had to get in the movie, or an overabundance of just kind of things. I'm like, why do we have the homeless person? Because he's a friend. Let's put Dave in it for whatever reason, you know.
Yeah,
And
that's
and I
fair.
and I get it, but I very much feel like they said, "Cool, we got $100,000 and $90,000 is going towards building cardboard sets," and I'm okay with that. Again, it's fun and I like it, but I kind of want to put this in the hands of like a Guillermo del Toro with like a $20 million budget.
That could
Because
be interesting. Yeah.
so but it was very clever, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed that a lot.
It was definitely something you haven't just imaginatively thought of or seen before, and I
Yes,
really like that.
I also kind of get the vibe that all these people were sitting around watching Labyrinth, and they go, "You know what would be cool? When I was a
Cardboard
kid, when I was a
boxes.
kid, I made a maze out of cardboard boxes." And they're like, "Dude, fuck it, Simpson, you're a genius." you know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, like there was very much kind of like Labyrinth, the movie, Jim Henson movie
Mm-hmm.
feelings in this. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm very torn on it. Like it's right on the cusp of being just a a diehard. Mark's going to recommend this all time, every time, you know. But I don't know.
That's fair. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what all crazy stuff we saw in there. Start your lovely little scene where they're just poor Annie walks into her apartment and she's like, "What am I looking at here? Just got home from a long trip." And there's a bunch of cardboard boxes promoting Steam, and my boyfriend's weirdly echoing and talking to me and telling me not to come in it. What would you do in that instance, Mark? You going in, or are you just going to be like, okay, whatever?
Well, I kind of like I get where she's coming from, where she walks in and she's just like, "Oh, geez, Dave, come on, my dude. Like
Yeah.
the joke's over. Like it's cool. I'm gonna go get a shower." And when she comes back out, she's like, "All right, come on. You've had your fun. Come on." And she's clearly like already had an ass full. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and it is kind of clever how she slowly but surely is on the brink of just like, I've had too much versus like, this is my man. I'm going to stick by him, to slowly realization. Like that first, once she steps into the maze and she's in a full size room in the maze and just, she's like, "Oh, wow." She has this big look of wonderment
Mm-hmm.
on her face. I'm like, okay, yeah, she's all on board. She's all on board now. Um, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. So you got her, you got Gordon, you got the camera crew. For some reason, there's some random tourist. Uh, that other girl, Bryn, that's just
yeah,
like so excited to go in, and everyone else is just like, yeah, we can go in. And she's like, can we? She's like a Disney adult, like an extreme Disney adult that's just like over the top.
yeah. She's in one of the NCISs, I think.
Interesting.
I knew I recognized her from somewhere, and yes, Criminal Minds. That's what
Oh,
she's
okay.
in.
Nice.
So
So we go in there. You see all the weird little sections that he's made. Uh, you do the little card section with the cards on the wall, the cool people that he made of king and queen. Those are really cool. I felt like the eyes were supposed to kind of follow you, but I
you,
wasn't quite sure about that.
the set design in this movie is fantastic.
It is.
This is, if there's one thing that I will kind of heap the praises on, is for sure just the concept of the the different cardboard rooms that they had to come up with. The piano room, the card room, the big mouth
Trash
face
origami stuff.
trash origami. Will you shut up? That was so clever.
It was. I
Um,
love those little birds just being like, all right, let's hang out.
and it was so, man, yeah, it was going from room to room. Like this part, I was genuinely interested in because I wanted to see what the next room held.
Hmm.
And this part I actually dug, where it was just every little thing, like what are we gonna do next? There was a forced perspective room that was really clever. Um,
Yeah.
and and then old girl, the one who's excited that we were just talking about, she meets up with him, and then she sets off a booby trap. And this
Ooh.
was one of my absolute favorite things about this movie, again, along with the set pieces, but how there was no blood in this movie.
It was pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie. Like, in a way to be like, it's gory, but it's enough that you can let your, you know, middle teenage kids be like, yeah, you can watch this with me. There's
Right.
nothing like terrible in it. But I agree. I really love this confetti glitter yarn stuff that they were using as blood. I thought that
Yeah.
was so unique.
It very much was. And again, I feel like this was kind of like necessity is the mother of invention, where they were trying to figure out, hey, how are we going to do this? We can't, if we start shooting blood everywhere when what's her face gets decapitated or someone gets impaled on these cardboard spikes, we're gonna ruin our set, and we can't do that. So how do we do this and be able to reuse the set for different takes, because we don't have the budget to keep rebuilding cardboard sets.
Yeah.
um and yeah, this was genius. uh yeah, so much fun. And you're right, I could sit here with Alice and be like, hey, watch this, and not feel overly upset that she's watching it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you get to her little scene, Jane, where she gets her head technically chopped off, and it's just poof. Lovely little weird thing that everyone's just like, what the heck did we just watch? And then you get to that weird tourist couple. Or not tourist couple. That was like their friends, but they were just like playing hide and seek by themselves.
Yeah.
And that was also a really interesting scene where the dude gets technically impaled by a big spiky set of paper towel rolls,
Yeah.
and then like silly string sprays out of him. That was so fun and creative.
There was also, man, there was also very kind of the stylistic things of when they go from room to room, like after they're chasing after, or when the Minotaur, first off, the Minotaur dog,
He was
that
dope.
was super dope. Um,
Yes.
a great kind of, a great kind of, reference to the Greek labyrinth, or Greek maze. And again, I'm sure there's probably like some deeper subtext of like, why did Dave build all these traps and a Minotaur and all these other things? They don't really delve into it, other than, he's a struggling artist and he made something cool. And not but each room, like when they go into the one room and now they're all puppets, they're all like paper bag puppets or cardboard puppets.
That was so cool.
So great.
I
The,
loved it.
again, piece by piece, I really enjoy this movie. Like in TikTok form, in like 3 minute segments, I feel like I could watch this movie and really enjoy it. But just all together, man, I'm just like, there's just something about it where, but I will sit here and heap praises upon it.
Hmm.
I feel very torn about this movie.
I don't know. I was definitely like pretty into it. I thought, I know that you're like, oh, there's a lot of people going on, which I'd also agree. Like the random tourist and the homeless dude. Also the couple playing hide and seek by themselves and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
it made it interesting. Especially, you get to the point, you meet Dave, and he's like, hey guys, follow me. I think I can get us out of here. He has this weird little backpack of random stuff. Uh, and then, there's that one scene where they're running from the Minotaur, and then he just like pulls stuff out of his bag, and he's like, it's an old fort trick, temporary wall, where he just like
Oh.
hangs up a towel with duct tape, and you can see the like shadow of the Minotaur just being like, oh no, there's a wall here. Like that
Yeah.
cracked me up. That he's like fort trick, like old fort trick. Like, sir, I don't. What do you, what do you want right now? But yeah, there was just so many rooms that were just, I don't even. They were just like weirdly well thought out of just weird stuff. You had that one room where they walk in and it's those like little curtain lights and they're like having a good time and then that you see some video that they made and they like the four of them turn black and white.
That was a cool effect.
That was really cool. And then they're all just like joking around. And then at some point it just stops. And then you go on to the next room
Yeah.
where it's the weird vagina wall and
Yeah.
everyone sees it, gets like enthralled with it and just like this is all I can think about. And then they just like pull each person and they're like, it's a trap. Like every person.
And apparently Dave got caught in that trap with his cardboard hand.
His poor little hands.
Poor guy.
He's over there like to his homies, like, I made it for you. And this dude's like, what are you talking about? I get plenty of girls. All the time. And he was just like, yeah, okay. Like that whole scene right there was just like it was you can walk through like if you went to an exhibit and you walk through rooms like these, I would be happy with it. I would
I would
also be like,
love
what am I looking at? I gotta look at it for 30 seconds before someone's like, hey, that's enough.
I would love to go to an exhibit like that where you just like the exhibit of cardboard at the Atlanta National Museum of History of Art. Um, I think that would be just such a cool thing to do to go from room to room and see what people come up with. Man, that would be so much fun to do.
Hmm.
And I would love for it to be set up like this, where you walk into a big room, a big thing that just says enter, and like very much set up like the entrance to this, um, you know, very. Oh man, I'm gonna think about this all the time now about how I want this to be a real thing.
Yeah.
So
You see that one friend, Bryn, that's made up entirely of the cardboard stuff? That was
well,
such a cool effect.
I couldn't remember if that was Bryn or if that was Jane, but yeah, that was again very cool, super cool, very creepy. Probably the darkest, kind of creepiest part of this whole movie,
Oh
because
yeah,
I think
definitely.
that's at the same time when they're building the crystal that has to be destroyed in order to free themselves from the maze. And
Yeah.
and she's just talking all that good evil villain shtick. It was with I want to talk to the actress who was, or I would love to get some behind the scenes on the actress that was in that costume,
Yeah.
because that seems like that was probably an adventure unto itself.
Can you imagine like the time that it took to put all of that on her too? Because her mouth is very functional. So they have
Yes.
it like section by section. That was genius.
See, this is why I still wish director's commentary was a thing. Because this would be the type of information you would get from a director's commentary, and none of the streaming services do it, and it drives me crazy. Because
Yeah.
this would be a movie where I would absolutely listen to director's commentary and probably enjoy my viewing experience listening to these people talk about it.
Hmm.
And all it would be is an extra audio track on an Amazon Prime or Netflix or whatever. And I don't get why they don't do it. So frustrating.
Sorry, man.
Ah. So I also really like the scene, like I was saying, in conjunction with Cardboard Bryn, giving us the gloom and doom speech of where they were making a thing, like the crystal.
Their little chrysalis. That's what it was.
Yes, chrysalis. Thank you. And this was kind of a great character moment, probably my favorite character moment of the whole thing, where Annie and Dave are sitting together talking, and Dave is making this, and he's got his cardboard pieces all kind of flying around, and she's just kind of sitting there in awe watching him of like, oh, this is cool. Like, he really did make all of this stuff, and this is really creative, and this is my man. And just, and then when he's done and this chrysalis opens up, and she's just, again, filled with this wonder of like, man, he really did make something.
Hmm.
It was a really kind of cool character moment for both of these characters. I really enjoyed it.
What about that scene that was like leading up to it, where they like start to fade into that darkness, and then they're like at their little kitchen table area, and they're like, "You want coffee?"
Oh yeah.
No, we don't. We only had enough for you. That was such an interesting scene where it's just like they're they have random suits and character type things that they just like keep pulling off, and it's just paper,
Yeah.
but it looks relatively real when you first look at it.
I
That was
really
so cool.
I really thought that we were going to go everything everywhere all at once. We kind of did a little bit, but I really thought we were going to start getting into like some really weird shit right there.
Hmm.
And it stayed kind of subdued. But no, that was a really kind of intense scene. Felt kind of out of place. I liked it,
Yeah.
but it just didn't feel, I don't know. I'm having trouble piecing together the themes, quote unquote, of this movie, because there's certain parts where I think the people involved, the director, the writer, the artists wanted to be artists. Like, they were like, well, this is our only chance to do this. I want to have one scene where you guys just act and do the scene, and I will direct the hell out of that scene, and let's do this. And again, it just kind of felt out of place, but I still liked it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I understand because I like when it was happening, I was like, I don't know what's happening, but this is like very interesting to watch because it just kept unfolding weird little layers to it until eventually he's just like, all right, we're done with this. And then she just like shines a flashlight at him and we're back to whatever we were in.
Yeah. I think I really would have liked for that scene to play out as like because I thought it was a flashback.
Hmm.
And I would have loved like the next, or, a couple iterations into this scene, there would have been like some tension. Like you always do this, Dave. You do stuff, you never finish it, or you do this, and it always just ends up making a big mess out of everything. Like some kind of resentment, some kind of trauma that Dave has done manifested in this maze, which is the reason it's all, kind of booby trapped or something. Just like some real kind of tension, I guess. I know I already
Hmm.
said that, but I was looking for something a little bit more intense. But something like that, and I think that would have stuck that a little bit further, you know.
Yeah,
And then they could have
absolutely.
come out of that and been like, "Oh man, I didn't know you felt this way. I'm sorry, baby. Ooh, I love you. I love you too." You know.
Now let's go make a chrysalis.
Yeah, let's go make this chrysalis. Um, yeah. Um, I really, man, the I want to know DVD commentary. I want to know of just how they made some of the contraptions, because there's obviously gears and mechanisms working behind the scenes to move things. I want to know how they made it. The nerd in me is like, I want to see the real levers and pulleys.
Yeah,
Um,
that would be really cool to have a bunch of like behind the scene type stuff that they could have put in like, the end credits or something of just like this is how it all moved and functioned and how we thought it up.
mm-hmm.
Would have been pretty cool. But that little end part where you actually watch the chrysalis do its thing, like that was super cool in itself. And everyone's just like, wow. Like everyone's just watching it and just like, this is pretty cool. This is pretty neat. And then it's just done.
Yeah,
And there they are in a pile of cardboard.
in a pile of cardboard that they throw out, and we get kind of we get this great little button uh, on the dumpster pile of cardboard where the Minotaur and was it an origami bird pops up out of there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens if he gets wet? Is he just gonna crumble? Like that would have been a good scene. Like the cardboard Minotaur rises up and all of a sudden there's rain. It starts raining, and he just starts crumbling. Like, oh no, my one weakness, guy.
Oh no. This is the end. Yeah. It was, a lot of that stuff was really thought out and just cool, but then like you said, there's just some weird little stuff that you're just like, I don't know. I don't know why there's so many people here, but there are. And for some reason we're accepting it, and it's still a very interesting movie to just sit and watch and just be like, okay, I'm gonna turn my brain off. And I think that's what you need to do, Mark. You just gotta turn your brain off and just accept it.
Okay. Well, I'm debating
But I
on
know
whether
how you are.
I'm debating on whether or not if I want to go back and watch it again,
Hmm.
because there's a part of me that is like, yes, go back and watch it again and just kind of just zone out and just enjoy the movie. And then there's another part of me going, but I don't really have any desire to go back and watch it. Like I'm really torn on this movie, conflicted, and I don't know what to do.
Only you can make your decision.
Oh. All right. Well, I think we just about covered it. Do you got anything else? Anything else to say?
No. But will you give me a high five?
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on just a damn minute here. I remember that, but I don't remember it at the same time. What is
It's
wrong with me?
Bryn. Like the
Oh,
paper
that's right. That's right.
that she's just
Yes,
sitting
yes.
there screaming high five, and everyone's like, no, let's not touch her.
No, no, we are absolutely not going to do that. Yeah.
They're like,
Okay.
yeah, we'll get that. We'll get to that in a second. And
Yeah.
then
High five.
keep questioning her. She just,
Yep. Touche. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I should have been on my game, and I'm not.
Wow. It's because you were too focused on your own little weird things.
That's true. That's true. I
Tiskity
was.
tiskity.
No. All right. Let's move on to my favorite part of the whole dingo dango week. Raven, please tell me what has made you happy this week.
So, earlier when I said that it was kind of a hectic week, uh, I called you on Saturday because I was like, Chris and I are in the car where I was telling about that little thing that you and I had chatted on.
Oh yeah.
We were on our way to Chattanooga because a week ago, one of our friends, uh, it was a whole situation where her and her brother had been attacked in their home, and it was a lot. And so we went to go see our friend because her brother is in the hospital. He took a gunshot to the head,
Oh
uh,
wow.
but miraculously, he is doing so great. He is very coherent and was able to talk even on his way to the hospital. He is very much able to remember things. He can move all of his limbs and stuff like that. He is just recovering from that. And so we went to visit our friend because obviously that's a lot of trauma on her. And it was just nice to see her and know that both of them will, were still here with us. And so I had a very stressful week of just worrying about her and her brother and her own little family of her boys. And so, what I'm happiest about is that we were able to see her, but I'm mostly just thankful that Chris and I didn't have to go to a funeral um, for people that we genuinely care about. And so, I'm going to leave it at that. It's a little bit of a downer, but at the same time, he is expected to make a year recovery and he's doing phenomenal. Mark, what has made you happy this week?
Man, mine's gonna sound
Sorry.
really like lame. But beside that, I don't know if I can. I know it's not a competition, but I don't even know if I can compete with that.
If you
That's
got something cute and funny to say, follow it up. That's what
I
I got for you.
I went through a range of emotions. Um,
Yeah.
so Raven, you know this, and astute viewers may know this. Uh, but I finally did what I said that I would do. Um, I started the Nerd for No Reason TikTok page.
Whoop
Whoop
whoop.
whoop. Um, the first thing I did was I filmed a video. Like I have all of this kind of, I don't know, production equipment around the house. Like I have lights and this and that and all this stuff and all these cool little gadgets, and I never use it. So I was like, I want to use it. I want to set up something in my computer room that I spend most of my time in anyway. Um, I want to set up lights and I want to light a scene and make it look good. And I think for what it is, for being shot on an iPhone that's 3 years old and all of that, I think it turned out great for a little like 1 minute long video clip of just saying, hey, here we are. This is what we're kind of planning on doing. And I did a thing. So, yeah. And I am working on the next video right now. So if you're listening to this on Monday or Tuesday, whenever this decides to come out, Look us up on the TikToks and YouTubes. Nerd for no reason. We're out here, man.
Prophecy has been fulfilled.
Yes. So, and with that, Raven, if you go look at the Nerd for No Reason um, Google Drive,
Mm-hmm.
you will see the video that I'm working on now. You will see the first cut if you want to go look at
Ooh,
that
sneak
right now,
peek.
because there is a. If you want to go ahead and pull that up and look at it, and then I can get your immediate reaction from it. I think it's like 2.5, 3 minutes long.
Aha, aha, aha. Give me that. With the twerp shirt. Hey,
Hey,
look at your little microphone.
yeah, you like that?
So professional. Do you like 80s music? Man, that song was so good.
That was.
80s music put over motorcycle scenes? Oh my goodness. Ooh, Mark, you putting them little skills together. Very nice, very nice. Look at you. Getting to use all your stuff that you like messing with.
Faux show. Faux show. It's lit, fam.
Ho 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 ho. It's bussin' bussin'. It's a good thing
Oh,
it's not busting.
no, you mean dumping, because that is the
Oh,
correct
is that what
term.
it is now?
Yes, that's what I say. I will never say something is good and it is bussin', and then say something is busting. Yeah,
I
no.
like to say it every now and then to Chris. Because it just cracks us up that you doubted thought that made sense. Ah, the young
All right.
brain.
All right, Raven, we'll tell everyone where they can find you on the internet.
I am over on the Instagrams at That's So Raven Ellis, and I hang out on the previously known as Twitter, remains Twitter in my brain because of course, at spooky_raven. Like Mark said, you can find us pretty much anywhere now on platforms at the Nerd for No Reason podcast because he did the thing and we're on the TikToks now.
Yay.
Mark, where are you located at on the interwebs?
I am at all pertinent social medias at Turtles Do It, because that is a funny name. Yes. Obviously, find us on TikToks. 400,000 million views is what we're looking for. End of the year goal,
Oh,
400,000 million.
oh my goodness.
So, yeah, no, for real, leave us feedback, because, we don't get better unless you tell us, what we're doing wrong. We think we're killing it. We love what we do. Um, but, but just don't be an asshole and be like, man, you guys suck. No, tell us what you don't like. Don't just be like, man, y'all suck. No, tell us what you don't like, man. If you don't like the TikToks, me sitting there talking about movies and shit, then say it. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I'll do one of those things where I don't add anything to the content. I'll just green screen myself in front of something and just point to someone else's TikTok and get like 400,000 views. You
Oh,
know?
there you go.
Yeah, I'm calling people out. We're here
Get
for
'em.
it. But anyway, no, for real, give us some feedback, rate, review us, let us know what you want us to talk about, what you want us to, what movies you want us to see. Man, we're here for it. So, and with that,
Absolutely.
and for sure, stutter, stutter, stutter. Go do something wonderful in the world today.
You guys ingest some pretty cool medias, and we'll see you again here next week at the Nerd for No Reason podcast. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What if you did the Sound of Music? Good night.
So long, Alvita sing.